Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. And, uh, sorry, lost track of thought. I heard somebody recently say, no FOMO here, which FOMO is like this. I don't know if it's even still used, the whole fear of missing out. And I remember somebody saying it the first time, and I've never really, I'm not really a big FOMO person. And I don't know if it's because I tend to do what I want as far as a lot of things go. I don't know if it's because I tend to be happy with simple things in life, but they were talking about it with purchases. They had been buying souvenirs and they didn't want to have FOMO from missing a purchase. And I feel like so many of us are parting with valuable hard earned money because of FOMO. And if you looked at like what you had to do to get that money, then you might not have FOMO. Like, I think about it like I shop for a living. So I think about like I had to shop for this many people. I had to work this many hours. I had to, carry this many cases of water. I had to uh, drive this many miles to get the money to make this purchase. And is it worth it? And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying nothing is worth it, but I don't know. I guess I just don't really understand the whole FOMO thing in general. And so to add it to FOMO for things, I really don't get it. It's just not who I am. And I like to do things, but like some people are so busy experiencing FOMO that they aren't experiencing life, or they're so worried about FOMO they're not experiencing life. They keep doing all the things. They do all the things, but just because you pay for an experience and do the thing doesn't mean you're not still missing out. And when I say that, what I mean, I'm sorry, if you saw my video on monotony and monotonous activities, I have been seam ripping, and it's kind of just my like calming activity, something to do with my hands right now. So they're so busy trying to make sure they don't experience FOMO that they're not experiencing the actual experience even. And I see so many people who aren't experiencing life, and I think that's kind of sad. I might not necessarily have the most exciting life, and I mean, it's not that I never disassociate. I mean, I can disassociate with the best of them. I can sit there and daydream for hours, as I also said in the monotony video. But I don't just sit there and randomly kind of spend money on experiences and things because I am worried I'll miss out. I especially as I get older, I mean, I guess I kind of did in my 20s. I'd like go out a lot and stuff. I definitely went out a lot in my 20s. We went to the bars and we went out to eat and stuff. But and I mean, maybe that's also part of being in your 20s. Uh, you know, make foolish mistakes. But I also I also feel like as I get older, I enjoy spending an evening at home. I enjoy spending lots of evenings at home. I would rather take the time and cook my own food than go to a restaurant. I would rather sit and listen to the sounds of the lake. I don't know if you can hear them. You hear that? I think it's like frogs and insects, but I'm not sure. But I love it. It's like an incredibly soothing sound. and I could sit there for hours. And I'm not afraid that I am missing out on an activity or a party or an event. And I guess that's kind of freeing to some extent, but I see all these people who spend ridiculous amounts of money because of FOMO, and I still don't get the FOMO thing. But if you're spending money because you're afraid of what's going to happen if you don't have this experience and you don't spend this money, then start reframing it. You're so afraid of missing out on this immediate experience. It's kind of like everything in life has become an impulse buy. But you're so afraid of missing out on it. What are you missing out if you do this experience? If you go and you, sorry, I kicked the camera, so it's going to shake. But if you go and do this experience, let's say, I don't know, that you go and you spend $100. You take a day off work and you miss out on, let's say, $200. And then you go and you spend another $100 to $200. So you're now down $300 to $400, and all because you're afraid of missing out. And then you've got to think about it like, was that activity worth $300 to $400? Was it worth 2 full days of work if you think about it, because you took the day off work and you missed out on that income, and then you'll have to, work another day or whatever. But that, and then there's also and I mean, don't get me wrong, I love vacation, I love experiences and everything, but when you do it, what are you missing out on instead? So if I go and spend, let's say, I could go and spend, $1,000 on a stupid piece of jewelry, or I don't know, $1,000 on a new wardrobe, or go to a bunch of haunted houses because it's Halloween. I could go apple picking and pay $6 to $10 a pound for apples, or I can go to the store and buy the ones on sale for 99 cents. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I like experiences and all, but when you're so afraid of missing out, what are you missing out on instead? So I could then maybe save that money and go on a nice vacation. I could pay off my house early. I could save money and buy a house. So every time you buy something, think about, if I buy this because I'm afraid of missing out, what am I missing out on in reality? When I contribute to corporate America and all of this random stupid keeping up with the Joneses and all of that, what am I really missing out on? What is the true cost? What am I going to have to sacrifice? What am I not going to be able to do now as a result? And then decide that way if it's worth it, because I really feel like this whole FOMO thing has caused a lot of people to waste money on things that they wouldn't like. They may go and do some crazy activities with their friends that they don't even really like and don't even really want to do. So afraid of missing out on that experience, when in reality, maybe everybody could choose a more affordable experience rather than, whatever's trending. Completely offended some kid in Jewel the other day. His girlfriend had bought a Lindt bar, one of the ones that was 90% cacao, and she was like, oh my god, if I knew this was $6, I would not have bought it. I said, it could have been worse. It could have been one of those Dubai bars. And she's like, oh yeah, she's like, they're just expensive because they're trending. I'm like, that's stupid though. And I'm like, I swear, if you buy those, you're an idiot. Well, apparently her boyfriend was really funny. He's like, well, then I guess I'm an idiot. And I was like, huh? Because apparently he bought not just one of them, but a whole bag of them. So yeah, crazy. But he was so worried about missing out on that Dubai chocolate trend. What did he miss out on instead? What are you not getting instead? You know, when you have to have this apartment that you really want, that's an expensive luxury apartment, what are you not getting? When you have to go and do this thing or buy this thing, what are you not getting instead? What big thing can you no longer afford because you're wasting your money? Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow.